Just as a general introduction, I've given a much fuller introduction on Monday, but very briefly for the new stakeholders, I just wish to introduce myself. I'm a Professor Emeritus at the University of Cape Town, and I chair the panel. My colleague here, Ms. Lulama Mtanga, is a competition law expert with extensive experience earned through her former roles at the Competition Commission, and as a director at the law firm Bowman Gilfillan Incorporated. I just want to briefly just discuss how we conduct the public inquiry. The object of the inquiry is really to get information and clarification so that we have a better understanding of the market. This is not a court of law. To the extent that we ask questions, those questions are ready for clarification and for eliciting further and more detailed information. And those of you who have been here during the week will know that when a document is referred to, we often ask for a copy of that document. And if the person is able to submit it to us, then we try and solicit as much information as we can. So this is really an information gathering session, and people mustn't feel at all that they are in any way being challenged or threatened by this process. Only I and my colleague ask questions, and the evidence leader, Ms. Duplessis, which I failed to introduce, she's the evidence leader and head of the technical team that assists the two of us in the collection of evidence and the analysis of that evidence, which will finally find its way into a report. That report will go to the minister and in time would be tabled in Parliament. So this is quite an important process. Okay, and it does have some consequences, but not for the individuals that come here and give and inform us. Yes. So the three of us will ask questions. If other people don't agree with what is being said or want to ask a question, we don't allow it to happen inside the inquiry, but they are free to, in writing, submit their objection, submit their question in writing to the technical team. The address you will see coming up on the screen from time to time throughout the day. So to the extent that any of you feel that a stakeholder doesn't correctly state a particular position, then you are free to do that in writing, and we will take it further. And again, it's to ensure that this is not an adversarial hearing. It's very much more a fact-gathering hearing. The other important point is that if someone wants to speak, we do in a language other than English. We have translators, so if they feel more comfortable in their home language, then we have translators present who will do the translation. With that, I want to begin with Thabo Givinda from Ingola Trading, who will be the first stakeholder this morning. Mr. Givinda, would you explain your interest, where you come from, explain Ingola Trading, and then make whatever submission you wish to make?
My name is Justice. The other name is Thabo Givinda. I manufacture soups and spices which does not contain chemicals. The brand is earthbound, which means human beings, natural food, and natural medicine are interconnected element. So I started to manufacture food products because they are cheaper to take them to the laboratory. I also manufacture medical products. Then I was misled by Messmart before 2015. They said I met the guy called Graham. It's Graham. His name is. He was one of the channel executive there. I forgot his name. It's great. I'll check now his name. I met him. He said, "No, Justice, you need to meet Regulation 146 of Food Safety Act." Then they referred me to Swift Silica, which is the laboratory. Then I paid about 8,000 rand of money to take these products to the laboratory. They took my spices to France in one of their laboratory. They did some tests. Then the Control Union took the products to University of Free State. They did some tests to check the GMO. Then I got the Regulation 146. Now the business is broke now. I've got no money. The 80,000 that I was hustling on the street, now I stopped. Then in 2015, they took us to Gibbs in Johannesburg to study business models. All I was questioning all the time is that theory learning is null and void if it's not parallel to practical learning. In this country, we are facing a problem. We are slave of paper learning. That is why we can't create jobs, we can't create products, because textbook learning is created after a real experience has happened. That's why they write textbooks. I was questioning them that, no, it can't be like this. Theory learning must be parallel to practical learning. In other words, you must be putting my goods in their stores so that to check the viability, how much I'm selling, and you give me a target, maybe 4 months or 5 months, how much I'm selling. Then they came to Durban to visit. They done a factory visit in a company called owned by Chris Muller, which is my third party producer, to check whether I can manage to produce volumes if they give me a job. Then they returned back to Johannesburg. All I'm questioning is that from the panel, I need the panel to open up the book of supply development that was established when Walmart bought Messmart, because it can't be that I might be getting this certificate, then I'm going to hang the certificate on the wall and tell my kids, hey, I've got this certificate. Then they'll ask me, are you supplying Messmart? No, this is nonsense. This is I don't know what is it. It does not make sense. Now I'm selling as an informal trader because I can see that these people who live a life of spectacular opulency, they are not willing to put black people in the mainstream economy. And I tried on that year to approach a company which manufacture fish fingers to give so that I can, and they can taste my products. Then this Graham, his name is his surname is Ribeiro. He said, no, you can't deal with that company that manufactures fish fingers because they are owned by Bidvest. Messmart and Bidvest, we are enemies. We don't deal with Messmart. Up to this stage now, I'm on the verge of getting a deal with Khotso-san because I took my spices for the test. Then I showed some chef how to make fish with my spices, how to make what you call Simba chips in a pan, and also fried chips, because I consider myself having a high level of creativity. Up to this stage, I'm waiting for them. There's a lady in Johannesburg. His name is Ilana Forrest. She said she's out of the office. When she comes back, she will deal with my matter, because I've submitted all the Regulation 146, which I spent 80,000 rand. My question is, why, if the supply development program was developed by the government, was it meant to give people this? Then I hang this on the wall. Was it meant for that? Then these people, they would say, they would took our pictures after they giving us this program. They say we've developed so much black suppliers, but these suppliers are not functioning. They are not supplying MESMAT. This is a sabotage. This is a sabotage from the people who live a life of suppressing emerging businesses. Up to today, I don't understand. Up to today, I don't understand, because I'm on the verge of crushing this, because this is nonsense. Because theory learning must be parallel to practical learning. When the other thing is, it can't be that we can be slave of paper learning. It can't be. Practical learning must go parallel with theory learning. So at this stage, I would have been a millionaire. I would have been employ people. At this stage, I employ 4 guys, because I'm selling these goods to informal ladies who are cooking on the street. Because MESMAT couldn't give me, they said, Jason Velemes said, this nonsense of yours cannot be placed at MESMAT. We can't sell this nonsense. I've got a portfolio of evidence, which are in the form of emails on my cell phone. I can provide those emails to you if you want them. Because I don't understand. I want justice on this matter, whether this program was designed only to give people theory learning. They can't trade. They can't put their goods at MESMAT stores. But you find Indians are trading. Some Indian guys are trading already at MESMAT. They come, this guy was telling me 4 months ago that he's already supplying MESMAT. We don't understand what's going on here. So at this stage, I feel like I've been sabotaged. All I want is my 80,000 rand. And this is the evidence in the newspaper, 2016, 20 March. I lodged this complaint. Small suppliers frustrated by MESMAT rules. And then the account is still open, the national account, MESMAT, MESCash, which is owned by MESMAT. That account, I'm not trading, because this nonsense of mine, which are my goods, they are not in the standard of MESMAT stores. The guy his name was Graham, let me check his name. Graham Rebello. He's no longer working with MESMAT now. And Kessinger is also working with MESMAT, and Von Stander. On the day of the factory visit, they decided, they said no, they want to turn around. They can't deal with me because I own no factory. At the same time, I explained to them, I don't own a factory. I'm using a third-party producer. When we are emerging, you can't build a factory. So therefore, you will always use a third-party producer, somebody to produce goods for you, then you pay a manufacturing fee. So up to this stage, I just kept this information because I heard that you are coming to Durban. Otherwise, I would have crashed this nonsense, because this is nonsense. And I reported the matter with the Competition Commission, and they called only, who's this guy? His name is Lerome. He was a lawyer from MESMAT. Then I was not called as a complainant to lay my complaint. He was the only one who was called. I don't know what's going on. And this is why we'll continue to have this problem of people controlling the money circulation graph, while others are passive and watching other people living a life of spectacular opulence. And this is all I have to say.
My colleague will.
Mr. Kivinda, I just want you to spell you said it's Graham Rebel.
It's Graham.
Ribeiro.
It's no longer, it's Graham Rebello. The surname is Rebello. It's no longer with Mesmat. He was a channel executive. He's the one.
Rebello.
Yes, Rebello. Graham
Okay.
Ribeiro is no longer with Mesmat.
Okay.
But Kesinga Maponya is still with Mesmat. I've got his cell number, Graham Ribeiro, and Kesinga Maponya.
Okay.
So this was a merry-go-round meandering activity.
Okay.
Maybe they were trying to present this to the government, that maybe to have a goodwill there, and say to the government, we have trained so much with GIPS, using a GIPS business model.
When you joined the supplier development program, Mesmat's supplier development program, did you join as an individual or did you join as a group?
I joined as an individual because I was referred by Sati Achilari, who works for Mescash, the company which is owned by Mesmat. He said, there's just this year, put him on the supplier development program. He's a emerging manufacturer. Then I said, okay, I'm going to go through this program. Then while we were studying there in 2015, I was questioning, it can't be that I come here and write and be a slave of writing, but I'm not supplying. Let me supply a small portion. Let me put maybe 80 goods and see what's going on. Because when I come the next time under the coaching lessons, you ask me how much I'm selling. Then it would have been better. I would say to you, hey, at Mesmat, I'm selling 10 of my soup stew powder. I'm selling 5 of my spice mix for fish chips and fried eggs. So that is why I'm saying this theory learning it's just null and void. It was only...
Sorry, when you joined the program, what was the understanding? Was the understanding... can you just take us through what was said to you? How was the program explained to you? What was...
The program was...
how was it sold to you by Mesmat, not the other person who referred to it? What did Mesmat say the program is all about?
The program was to develop local suppliers. That is why you, the Competition Commission, you need to open the local supplier development rules you've set aside with Mesmat, and find out whether it was meant for people to get this certificate only, or it was meant for them to, the theory learning must be parallel to practical learning. But I was told that during the factory visit, verbally by Luanda Madonsela, she's no longer working with Mesmat also, that normally they will give me a kickstart, a takeoff fund of 700,000 rand. Development, it's something tangible. As I say to you, theory learning must be practical to parallel learning. It can't be that you spend money taking me to GIPS in Johannesburg once a month, flying me, then you give me a certificate, and you say it's written a Mesmat Supply Development Program. And I was told at the same time I was get 700,000 rand as a takeoff fund, and you open a national account. Why do you open a national account if you're gonna give me this? The national account means that I'm gonna be putting my goods in their stores. They will charge me a 7.5 baseline advertising.
Mr. Kivinda, I do understand where you are coming from, but I also do, I'm not saying I'm defending Mesmat.
Yes.
I'm saying there are developmental programs that will develop parties and then leave them to find their channels or go out and apply whatever they've been taught in that program. So I just want to understand when you joined the program, what was your understanding? Was there any understanding that within the program, once you are developed, at the end of it, they will then be taking you on as a supplier? Was that the understanding, or is this what you thought would happen?
Well, I was told by Luanda Madonsela I'll get 700,000 rand as a takeoff fund. The national account which was open, which is still open by Mesmat. I can email that to your information. It's a national account to supply Messmart stores. It means I'm going to supply Messmart with my goods.
To test your product.
To test what they normally do, that with new manufacturers, they give them a tryout, which is to check the viability, whether the product can be sold or not.
Yes.
If it's not selling, then they take it out of the shelf. I was not given that opportunity.
So your product never even went.
Never even went
never
to the
landed
shelf.
on their shelves.
Yes.
Okay.
Jason Williams said this nonsense can't be
So
sold.
what happened after you completed the program? You then had. What happened after you completed the program?
After I completed the program, then I lodged a complaint to the Competition Commission.
No. I mean, between you and Messmart, you completed your program, and then you had your soup to sell or to give to sell to Messmart.
No, they didn't even stock the product. Okay, I took the product to prototypes to Macro in Johannesburg, to Jason Williams and Belinda Jensen. Then they kept the product for 3 months. Then Jason Williams said this nonsense cannot be sold here at Messmart. Then they returned my packaging, my prototype, which was damaged. Unfortunately, I did not carry it today. They returned it back to me.
Other than calling it nonsense, did they give you any feedback as to why the product wouldn't be viable for their store?
What they said, once I sent the prototype, they said, before we can stock your product in our stores, we need to check all the legalities. The legalities, Regulation 146, all the tests which were done at a laboratory, your table nutritional information, your, what do you call this, GMO test, which I've done.
What you refer to as Regulation 146?
146 of Food Safety Act, yeah.
So you went through that and...
I spent my money, 80,000 rand.
Is it 80,000?
80,000 rand.
80,000?
Yes, misled by Graham Rebel.
Okay.
That he said on my meeting with him in Johannesburg, you don't have a Food Safety Act. We can't put up your products in our shelves if you don't have that. We can't spend our money on you.
You have then mentioned that you then with the relationship not with you not having been able to establish a sales channel through Messmart. You then went to the informal traders and you're now selling.
Where I was selling, because I'm selling to the ladies who are cooking on the street, soups and spices. And
so just to go back, in Mola Trading, where is it based? Where do you come from?
I'm working at Mlazi, at home,
so
in a garage.
And the informal traders that you're selling to, are they in Umlazi or where
they are around here in town, Durban Station. All these ladies who are cooking for taxi drivers, and Priya Station, then the Wamashus, the rank that goes from town to Wamashu. In fact, all the ranks I supply, because I normally give these ladies a small portion to test my soup.
Yeah.
Then they will give me feedback. Then they'll say, no, please supply us. I sell 1 kg for 40 rand.
When did you start selling to these informal traders?
Before I met Messmart, I raised 80,000 rand, and I got broke because I was meeting this Regulation 146.
No, I understand that. I'm saying, when did you start selling to the informal traders?
Before I met Messmart.
Before you met Messmart?
Yes.
Okay, so before you met Messmart, you were already selling to these informal traders?
Yes.
Okay. And have you continued selling to them?
I'm selling. I've already started over because the 80,000 rand was gone in the train. I'm selling the products. As I speak to now, somebody phoned me. He said I must deliver.
What are the volumes that you're selling to the informal traders?
A week I'll earn like 1,000 rand a week.
But the units, your soup units that you're able to sell?
Normally would be 10, sometimes 20 a week.
And the packaging?
The package is a clear plastic bag. I put a sticker of my packaging with the labeling on it. So I sell it at 40,000 for 40 rand.
And the volume? And
The volume is 1 kg. I'm selling it 40 rand because I'm trying to disrupt the market.
Yes.
Because Unilever sells lemon and herb for 222 rand. So I'm selling it 14 rand. I'm trying to disrupt because I'm angry.
You're trying to, when you enter, you're trying to enter a market basically as a new product, and therefore you're selling cheaper.
Yes, I'm selling cheaper because I'm trying to disrupt. Because these products, they don't contain acidifier, no chemicals. They are just earth-bound. They are preserved by using origami. Origami is a preserver of food. If you mix with flour, it does not get rotten very quick. So the West does not understand that.
Okay. And how is that business going? Are you happy with that channel of that is selling your stuff through the informal traders?
All I want, if you have a good product, my sister, you want everyone to reach that product. For example, why I went to Khotsosan, my spice mix is...
Is it Tsukhosan?
Tsukhosan, yes.
Tsukhosan, yes.
Why I went to them, the product is out of this world. It's high. Nobody can produce that. It's high. But if you have a good product, what drives you to market to other people? It's the quality of the product. So one of the chefs there, which is Sean Mundru, tested the product, and he said it's very good. Then I emailed all the Regulation 146 to Ilana Fori, and she said she's not at the office at the moment, but she'll deal with my matter soon. Because on the 6th of June, they will allow us to showcase goods as small suppliers. So what drives me is of selling these products. I can't leave the product. The product is too good. It's too good to lie, not to be sold to the public. And people are questioning the use of chemicals on food products. So I come in there as an alternative. I'm selling at 40 rand 1 kg just to disrupt the market.
Okay, so you want the so from us, the inquiry, you want us to address you on the Massmart issue?
Yes.
And you also mentioned that you want to, do you want Massmart? Obviously, I'm not sure to what extent this inquiry can compel Massmart to stock your soup if they're...
I don't want them to stock my goods. I want my 80,000 rand. Because that nonsense of mine cannot be sold at Massmart, in the words of Jason Valemse.
Okay. Do you have any documents from Massmart, from Graham, from anyone at Massmart that required you to, told you to go and do the tests?
I do have it on my email address. I can email if you can give me your email address. I can forward it to all the portfolio of evidence from Massmart.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Good morning. Just one or two questions from my side. The Regulation 146 test that you did, what was the result of that test?
The products were given a certificate that they were okay to be sold to the general public.
Okay, and have you been using that certificate when you approached, for example, Togo-san or Bidvest?
Yes.
And was that certificate a requirement from their side?
Yeah, all of them require Regulation 146 for Food Safety Act.
Okay, and then when you approached Bidvest to have your product used in their fish fingers, when was that?
It was 2015.
2000. And then maybe just explain again what was Massmart's reaction to that?
Graham Repero said Massmart and I did not know that Bidvest was owned by Massmart. I did not know even that Massmart are the enemies of Bidvest. He said Massmart and Bidvest, they are enemies. Me, I don't care about that. I'm just selling to the general public. When you have a good product, you just sell to somebody's enemy or to somebody who's not an enemy. You just sell because the product is too good. I don't care whether they are enemies or not enemies.
Okay, and do you have the email correspondence where the response of Massmart was set out?
or Jason Graham Ribeiro, he uttered that on words. He didn't write an email. He said, no, Pitvest and Messmat are enemies. I said, oh, it's fine. But at this stage, I'm just selling to the informal traders. As now I'm trying to get to the Khotso-san, because I believe I can't be, you know, when we are in a mission, if you are a good singer, you know that you are a good singer.
Okay.
No, even people tell you you can't sing. You know, nobody can block the attempts of human beings. Nobody can block your attempts.
All right, thank you. And then the Gibbs document that you have there, did you pay for that training out of your own pocket?
No, Messmat paid for that
Okay.
to go to Johannesburg, and also they paid for me to sleep to the hotel. But all the time I was questioning,
Okay.
is theory learning, it has to be parallel to practical learning, because I believe development means develop somebody. If I manufacture, you must see my product at Messmat stores. If you open an account, a national account, and you say this account is for in-order trading and is opened by Macro or Mass Cash, you mean that my goods has to be on your stores. Therefore, my duty is to market the product. If I fail, therefore I'm removed at supplying that store. So this supply development was I don't know, it was a fraud.
Yeah, thank you very much. Those are all the questions from my side.
Just, I wonder if you could leave the, first of all, a copy of the certificate. The second would be the newspaper article.
Okay, it's fine.
And the third, you said you have this email, this email correspondence.
Yes, I will do so.
I'm dealing with that. And I just want to ask the complaint to the Competition Commission. I understand that we are not the Competition Commission. We're an inquiry established by the Commission. But do you have, did you submit that complaint in writing?
I did. I also have a case number on me.
If you could submit that information, you can speak to Ms. Duplessis after this.
Yes.
And you can pick up the details for submitting this material. We would invite you please to do that.
Okay, I can do so.
Thank you for your submission, and we'll take a brief adjournment for 5 minutes, and just to see whether the next stakeholder is available. Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if you're from FBI wholesalers, if you'd identify yourself, explain something about FBI wholesalers, your interest, and then make your submission. We will ask questions for clarification afterwards. Thank you for coming, though.
Hi, I'm from the FBI Foundation. FBI means Food and Beverage in Need Center. And we formed this organization in 2014. And what we've seen now, there's lots of wrong things that's happening in around the country.
Sorry, just to ask, I just get the, I see I said FBI wholesalers, but you say you food, beverage?
In Need Center.
In need. Center or foundation or?
Center.
Center. And, I mean, are you a company or
We're an organization.
just a voluntary association? An
No.
NGO?
Yes.
An NGO?
Yes.
Thanks, sorry.
Okay. There's few things that we saw, but what I wanted to say is that I pointed some points. I don't know whether it's going to make sense. But like all retail stores and major stores are running a successful business. These stores want everything for themselves. If you look at major stores who is now selling alcohol, taking away business from owners of the public that was issued with license. All these retail stores and our local shops only want to do business with reputable companies. Reason for this is that they want delivery and product on time, which our local people create small businesses with up-to-date standards and have the ability to produce and supply. These retail and local shops would not want to give our starters an opportunity to sell their product. And through this, we have lots of unemployment and theft taking place. If you have a product and want to approach a retail store or local store, sometimes they make you wait for months just to meet you and say, sorry, we're not interested. But the requirements they ask of you is unbearable. My art goes out to manufacturing and distribution companies. The requirements that the retail stores ask is absolutely sickening. They ask like about 30 to 60, 90 days payment. What these retailers are doing is that they want to use your product to do business, earn monies from your product, and then pay you. In the meantime, what happens to your business for the next 3 months when you have to wait for your monies to buy stock? If you find defects or damage, they ask you to remove and replace some these items being damaged by their stupidity. If you don't have monies, no one is going to sell your items to produce stock. On top of that, the retail store asks you for your own merchandiser that you have to pay. Then they ask you to pay for the shelf space that you use on their store. The retailer asks for 5 to 10% kickback year-end. The price the retailers sell your product is more profit made by them than made by you as a manufacturer or distribution company. They will squeeze you to the last price and give a damn shit about you because of their overheads. Failing which, you also have about the same overheads. Our people are so stupid to support these stores thinking that they are saving. The reason behind this is that some people don't know how to shop, but know how to waste money. I personally feel that all shops should have price tags, what they paid for an item and the price they sell this very item for. On some retail stores, they clear items which they don't sell. They reduce them by up to 20, 30 to 50%, which means what are they paying for this product? This tells you the price that they are getting it for from a customer. Our people in the community are losing jobs due to the fact that the retailers are raping the manufacturers, producers, and the distributions by fighting price, which a worker don't understand what is business and what business go through. People have families to feed, they have no income. So a person start a small business selling on the street to survive. But here comes the police and take away what the person is selling. My opinion is that there should be free enterprise for all people to start living by earning and providing for their loved ones and families. The retailers are selfish because they want the business for themselves, and by selling at a high price, we're never going to win with our government. So it's time we stand by saying enough is enough and let it be free enterprise without obtaining a license. Let's try and provide for our people. Now, if you look at, take for a bottled water example, let's talk about Valpre. Valpre, the market price to a retailer is about 6 Rand. But what does it cost the manufacturer to produce one bottle? We're looking about under 1 Rand. And the shops then sells it for 10 Rand. If you find that there's a small bottle of Coke, they got a price states 6 Rand. But the shop sells it for between 7 Rand to 8 Rand. Yet there's a price on it. Any questions?
You didn't identify who you are. I wonder if you could give us
I am
your name.
Sanjay Lakshman from the FBA Foundation.
Okay, so let's
And also
sorry, but just your slowly your name. Lakshmi, I got.
Lakshman.
Lakshman.
Lutchman.
Okay, and first Tchman.
Sanjay.
Lakshman.
Lakshman.
Sanjay Lakshman.
Sanjay.
Sanjay.
Sanjay Lakshman.
Lakshman.
Look, I also do manufacturing as well.
Okay.
But we also do bottled water. And when we go to customers, they don't want us to make profit. We have the same rent to pay, workers to pay, petrol, lights, water, everything, but they're not interested. They don't even want us to make 50 cents profit on the product.
So let's just stick with bottled water because you manufacture it.
Yeah.
And you speak of retailers generally. Can you be more specific?
Retailers, because of the name Valpre, it goes for about 6 Rand 50 a bottle. But the retailer sells it for nothing less than 10 Rand. Some places you would pay 20 Rand for a bottle.
But so with Valpre, is 6 Rand 50 the price that the retailer pays for the bottle of water?
Yes.
But you say the actual cost of
a bottle is about a Rand.
Is about a Rand.
To manufacture.
And then the retailer does a markup of 4 Rand, 3 Rand 50 and above. And what is your experience with your bottled water?
We have to buy bottles, labels, caps, and all that is a cost. It costs more than that because we don't push volume. But with the markup that we put is the retailers don't want to give us the price what we want. They want to pay us the price that they want.
But why? I mean, are you competing with Valpre? Are you giving a price at $6.50 or less?
We're not comparing. We want to know. We want the people to know what they are paying, how much they are spending.
I mean, how much are you charging retailers for?
Look, with our product, they want it for between like $2.50 to $2.80 a bottle.
Same volume?
Same, 500 ml.
And what would they then sell it for?
They would sell it, depends on the area, it goes between 5 Rand and certain areas, 8 Rand to 10 Rand.
And are you concerned about naming the retailers?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. But we want to know about the price structure. What are they giving the product to a retailer? Why doesn't that price show when people go shopping? They need to see what the retailer has paid for the product, what he sold that product for, why is he making such a big markup?
So really what you're proposing is that labeling should include markup.
The cost.
Cost and
Yeah, well, the markup is the difference between what's sold for and what it cost. Okay, so right. Okay.
Mr. Lachman, so if I understand you well, your concern is retailers. Your concern hinges on retailers making far more money than you do as a manufacturer. Is that your concern?
Definitely.
Okay. So you're unhappy with that?
Very unhappy.
Okay. That's one. The second thing is, let's make an example with your bottled water.
Yeah.
You've sold it to some retailers. It's
Yeah.
out in the market.
Yeah.
And how is it doing?
Look, it is doing well. I do have my customers.
Yes.
They're happy with the product.
Yeah.
They are selling. But when we go to, like, everybody is not going to take your product.
Yes.
Because why I'm talking about ABI, ABI is the monopoly where they can put fridges into stores and our product cannot go in there. So they can only sell ABI product. So they don't have space for our product.
And you also mentioned your payment terms, like you said 30, 60.
30, 60, 90-day payment.
So what is actually your payment period?
Well, my payments sometimes we wait like a week. And
No. The 30 day, 60 day, 90 day. Your credit is that a credit term?
Yeah, that's what the retailers take from major stores. They make them wait for the money. So if you don't have money, how are you going to get stock again to produce? Now you got workers, you got rent to pay, you got stock to buy. How you got to wait for those monies to come?
So in your case, which period is applicable? Is it 30, 60, or 90?
I wouldn't feel any of it.
Okay.
Because if you want the product, you buy the product.
Okay. And then you mentioned that they take the product and then it will have if they find defects that they are responsible for, then they make you you have to be responsible for those
Definitely.
defects. Can you explain that? How is that? How do you assume responsibility for defects that they caused?
Well, like sometimes when they are packing the fridges, they might drop a few bottles that might get smashed. So they tell us to, you know what, we have some smashed bottles. We tell them no problem. You keep it one side, we replace it for you.
Okay. Just to understand the market, the route to market for suppliers, if you don't sell to retailers, there's the informal trade, there are small and independent retailers. How is that, isn't that avenue an alternative for your products? I just want to establish.
Yes, it does.
Or if it isn't, why not? Why is it not?
No, it is. We're getting a lot of support from our local people, like tuck shops. Tuck shops, people selling on the streets. We're getting more support from them than the retailers.
Okay.
So that my point is that there's lots of people who's not working. They want to make a living. They cannot afford to pay rent to get a premises to sell. They're trying to sell on the streets to live because they don't have an income. But it's not allowed here.
Okay, and then my last question to you: in the margin that the retailer charges on your product, for example, does that include the collection of the product from you, or do you do the delivery yourself?
I do the deliveries myself.
And they still charge this margin?
They don't want to hear about your cost, your petrol cost, how it comes, how it goes. They just want it at a certain price.
And you mentioned that you have to have your own merchandisers.
Yes.
Can you explain what that entails?
Yeah, like some stores, they say, look, if we take your product on, we give you a space. Now, for that space, I'm entitled to pay for that space. And in order for my product to be on that space, I got to have my own merchandiser. I got to pay for that person to set up the shelf.
To be at the retailer premises and set up and put the products on the shelves.
It's got nothing to do with the retailer. That merchandiser is there for my product only, not for other products.
Okay. You also mentioned kickbacks.
Yeah, kickbacks where year-end, they want a certain percentage of kickback in order for selling your product.
At the year end?
Yeah.
Why is that specifically at the year end? And
they want to see the number of sales that has been done. So they want so much % out of that.
So once you've made your money for the year, they say reward us for what you got.
Yeah. So if I made profit,
yes,
the profit is not coming to me. It's going back to the retail store.
Okay, fine.
I think I have the power to close the session because I have a sense that there are issues that you might not wish to divulge publicly. We are very keen to find out exactly how the market, this retail market works, and accordingly, what I've decided after discussion with my colleague is that we're going to go into a closed session so that we could ask more very specific questions of you. Now that means, of course, that it's closed. It means although we record it, it's not public, and it's not made available to anybody other than the panel, the commission, and the technical team. Are you comfortable with the idea that we go into a closed session?
That's fine.
Thanks. I wonder if we can just adjourn, and then only the members of the technical team, and the person who's doing the recording, should remain.
For me?